Skinny Hardaway 7T back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that thumbs up for your boy when you roll on in. If it's your first time, if you could do your boy a favor, don't make it your last time. We talk this good boxing, MMA, and sports every single day, not just today. Today I'm here with a women's boxing conversation, right? A middleweight women's boxing conversation, right? I'm all for trying to trying to help the sport grow in as a whole, right? As women boxing, men's boxing, and now the great Clarissa Shields, who I feel like is the greatest women's boxer, right, to ever step foot in the ring, like on the planet ever in life. And Wolf, number two. Later, Ali is up there, right? So on and so on. She just had a fight, this weekend where she overperformed, right? As always, a clean sweep 12-0, 10-0, right? Decision over Maria Corneja, right? Pretty much business as usual for Clarissa Shields, right? The problem with Clarissa Shields in boxing in her careers, it's hard to find, Clarissa Shields that fight. It's hard to find that equal, right? It's hard to find that dance opponent for Clarissa Shields. Now she could get in the ring and she can look damn good, right? And we can even hype a couple of these girls up, you know what I mean, before the fight, right? But it's like Clarissa Shields, she goes in there, she dominates, she makes it look easy, and we kind of right. It's kind of a knock against her, right, for making it look easy, right? But within all of that, there has been, a couple opponents, right, in her career. Hannah Gabriels, who Clarissa Shields was supposed to fight again this Saturday, right? In which I think would have been an amazing fight. Hannah Gabriels, tested positive for steroids, but she gave Clarissa Shields, I think, her third toughest fight. She actually is the only woman ever to knock Clarissa Shields down, right? But I think after the knockdown, Clarissa Shields, she got up and she 12 0'd her and made that fight look easy, right? I think coming in at number two, right, will be French on Cruz. I think in difficulty, honestly, this was her toughest fight, right? But it was early in her career. It was a 4 round fight. So Clarissa Shields and French on Cruz had a hell of a 4 round fight. You know what I mean? For her very first fight, right? And we all know that French on Cruz is currently the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world at 168 in the women's division, right? And if you don't know, I'm telling you now, that was Clarissa Shields' first fight, right? I think that was her second toughest fight. I think it was her toughest fight in competition and physicality, but it was only a 4 rounder and versus, Savannah Marshall, who I think was her toughest fight, because she gave her a fight from round one to round 10. I don't think it was as physically taxing as Franchon Cruz, but her and Franchon Cruz fight was only her and Franchon Cruz fight was only a 4 rounder, right? So she only had to go 4 rounds and she went 10 with Savannah Marshall, right? Which is why I put Savannah Marshall being her toughest fight. But I do think Franchon Cruz actually, put more hands on her than Savannah Marshall. Was good. Shout out my guy Ray Buck, my girl Jazz, my guy Dub. What's good, Dub? Appreciate you sliding through. Let me drop the hammer for Dub. Shout out my guy Cornbread. What's good, Cornbread? Appreciate you sliding through this thing, Cornbread, right? What's good? Y'all hit that thumbs up for your boy, but I digress, right? So I think Hannah Gabriel was her third toughest fight. The only person to knock her down was Hannah Gabriels, but she got out the mat and went on to dominate Hannah Gabriels. I think her toughest, most physical fight would have been Franchon Cruz, right? In her very first fight. It was her first fight against a tough opponent. There was a back and forth firefight, very taxing on her, but it was only a 4 rounder, right? Which is why I got it her second toughest fight. And Savannah Marshall, her first toughest fight, right? Which was her fight before last. I gave it her toughest fight. She really swept Savannah Marshall, but Savannah Marshall was game for 10 rounds. She was in front of her. She didn't back down for 10 rounds. So I put that number one based on the 10 rounder, right? Fresh on Cruz and Savannah Marshall, they're about to fight in July. Savannah Marshall and Franchon Cruz have an undisputed matchup coming up in July, right? Franchon Cruz, who I stated, for Clarissa Shields, the first fight and lost. Savannah Marshall for Clarissa Shields 2 fights ago, right? And she lost. I think these are 2 out of 3 of Clarissa Shields' toughest fights. I think these are Clarissa Shields' 1 and 2 most toughest fight, right? Y'all kind of see where I'm going. and it's for Undisputed, right? So I'm feeling like this, right? Because I'm all about growing the sport in women's boxing, right? And Clarissa Shields, she just did $1 million in her hometown, right? $1 million in total revenue, right? Not pay-per-view, but this fight wasn't a pay-per-view. She did $1 million in total revenue, right? So that's a success, especially for women's boxing. Not many women boxers are doing that, almost none. Maybe her, Katie Taylor, but I digress, right? So she just did $1 million in her hometown. She just did $1 million in her hometown, right? So I'm looking at it like this. We got Franchon Cruz and Savannah Marshall about to face off for Undisputed at the 168-pound division, right? Clarissa Shields is right now undisputed at the 154-pound division, and she's undisputed at the 160-pound division. So Clarissa Shields is now currently undisputed in 2 different divisions, right? You know what I mean? So Clarissa Shields is a double champ right now at 160, 154. Franchon Cruz is the champion, is the undisputed. She's undisputed champ at 154 and 160. Franchon Cruz is undisputed champ at 168. She's about to fight Savannah Marshall, who is Clarissa Shields' biggest selling fight. I think it's her toughest fight, her biggest selling fight, right? So I'm feeling like the winner of Franchon Cruz and Savannah Marshall for that undisputed at 168. We're looking for an opponent for Clarissa Shields to fight, right? I think it's time. I think we build this fight. We build the winner of this undisputed fight between Franchon Cruz and Savannah Marshall. We build that fight up to fight Clarissa Shields next, which will be a 3-weight class undisputed fight, which will be the first time to ever happen in the history of boxing, right? We get a 2-time undisputed. We get a double undisputed, right? But it's more like a triple undisputed. I should put triple in here instead of double, right? Because it's double undisputed. Shields is already double undisputed at 154 and 160. Franchon Cruz is undisputed at 168. The winner of Marshall and Cruz will be undisputed at 168. So there will be 12 different straps on the line. 154-pound undisputed, 160-pound undisputed, 168-pound undisputed, right? Now, you can't defend all the straps, you know what I mean, at one time, but there will be 12 live current straps, you know what I mean, between the 2 fighters of this fight, the winner of Cruz and Savannah Marshall, right? So I think women's boxing, right? Everybody, I think this is the fight that we need to push. Let's push Cruz versus Marshall because these are 2 game opponents, 2 of the best opponents in women's boxing, right? And I think we help steer this forward, right? We help grow the sport. We help grow, Clarissa Shields in general, right? We help grow the fight. We help get more eyes on it by starting out with this Franchon Cruz and Savannah Marshall fight. And if you really look at it in totality, the winner of this fight fights Clarissa Shields. There's 3 different division title fights for Undisputed. But I ain't gonna keep y'all in this thing too long. Spending hard away 17. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.